Hey there, it's Chris from Good Roads, and this week I'm taking a break from pressing big boards by making teeny tiny ones. And I'm also going to be doing a giveaway, so stick around till the end of the video for all of the details. You guys have been asking for some fingerboard building content for a while now, and after the snowboard build I needed a fun, easy, lightweight project to tackle, so I made this. A fully 3D printable fingerboard press. Basically, I didn't want to go to the hardware store, so I designed the system so that every component can be 3D printed. Let me show you how it all goes together, and then we can press some decks. Here are all the printed parts. There's an upper and lower mold half, 2 posts, and 2 clamping knobs. The threaded posts are designed to be printed laying down. Printing in this orientation means that the threads won't split or break along the layer lines when you clamp the mold together. If you take a look at the bottom of the lower half of the mold, you'll see these chamfered holes. The threaded posts slot in here and wedge into place. Then you can slip on the top half of the mold and clamp it down using the knobs. It's a really easy set of prints and a dead simple build, and y'all know me, I want to get you building your own gear, so you can get all the print files for free over at goodroadscollective.com. There'll be a link down in the description below. Along with the print files for the project, my supporters over on Patreon are going to get the working files. So if you're interested in taking these molds and modifying them so that you can make your own shapes, make your own geometries, maybe consider heading over there to check it out. This was a fun little piece of CAD work, and I'm really excited about trying it out, so let's not delay any longer. Let's press some decks. To get started, I needed some veneer. This is some leftover walnut veneer from the top sheet of my snowboard build, and even though it's not the standard maple, I think it should work out just fine. I made myself a paper template by tracing the interior of the mold, and then I traced out all the sheets I need for my deck. My understanding is that a standard wood fingerboard deck has 5 plies, 3 long grain and 2 cross grain, so that's what I cut for myself. Once the veneers were cut, it was time for the layup. And it's pretty much exactly the same as pressing a full-size skateboard, just smaller. You spread glue on all of your veneers and stack them in the mold. Drop the top half of the mold in place, and clamp it down to dry. And just like with a full-size build, that glue squeeze out is a really good sign. Let's leave it overnight to allow the glue to cure, and then we can come back and check our results. Alright, that's looking really good. That blank is looking a lot thicker than my professionally made deck though. My veneers were 1/64 of an inch thick, so I don't know where all y'all fingerboard shapers are getting your veneers from, but they have got to be lethal thin. So I wanted to try something else. I had this idea for a 4-ply deck where the interior plies have the grain running on the bias at 45 degrees. That mixed with the long grain of the 2 outer veneers, and I think we'll end up with something that works like the weave in a triaxial fiberglass. If you guys have ever heard of a deck with the veneers oriented this way, tiny or full-sized, let me know down in the comments. I'm super curious about it. It might be something I want to try full-sized. So we're on to our second layup, and the only thing that I need to be careful about here is to make sure that the grain of my center layers run in opposite directions to each other, so that we can get that triaxial fiber effect. Once it was clamped down, I let it dry. Before demolding the blank, I used the built-in drilling guides to drill my truck mounting holes using a 1/16 drill bit. And then cracked it open. Looking good! The next step is to shape the blank, so I'm going to start by making myself some paper templates. yeah, that looks sick. Then I trace them onto the blanks. Next time I'm gonna use a pen that doesn't bleed so much. But then I ran into a problem. All of the tools that I have are for cutting big things. And these boards are very, very not big. They're very small. In the end, I decided to use this fine-tooth pull saw to rough cut the decks. Then I used this little combo belt and disc sander to sand them to shape. Those profiles are looking sweet. So now it's time to switch over to hand sanding to get everything smooth and to round out the rails. And at this point, all that's left is to add some art and a finish. And we're done. Not too shabby for my first fingerboard build. I'm especially stoked on this one. I think this shape is just rad, and I kind of really want a full-size version. So we'll have to tackle that in a future video. Here's the deal. My goal here at Goodroads is to get y'all making your own gear. So in addition to releasing the print files for the molds for free, I'm also doing a giveaway. 2 of you lovely viewers are gonna be getting some cool DIY fingerboard stuff. One of you is gonna get the chunky Fat Cat fish deck, and the other is gonna get the experimental blue bone deck, along with the mold that I used in this video and a set of veneers so that you can press your own board. All you have to do to be in the running is leave a comment on this video. Ideas about projects I could tackle would be rad, telling me what kind of boards you'd like me to build would be sick, but any comment will do. I'll pick 2 at random and announce the winners in next week's video. So sweet, a free 3D printable fingerboard press. This is a legitimately fun project. There is something really nice about working at this scale, working on things that are really small. I think that the boards that I made are pretty good. I'm not much of a fingerboarder, so I'll leave it up to you guys to decide, but I think the press system gets really good results. And I also think that this is a really good place for anybody who's interested in doing a full-size build to get some practice doing the process of a layup and pressing a board, because the process is exactly the same, just smaller. And everything about it costs less, so you got that going for you too. So I hope you guys dig it. If you like DIY board sport content, you should go ahead and subscribe, because that's what we do here. We make boards big and small. Huge shout out to my supporters over on Patreon, especially this week for some really good fingerboard building advice. I hope you guys have some fun with the working files for this project. I hope you're able to get in there and make some cool shapes. And as always, I love having you along for the ride. So until next time, I'll see you soon. Okay. 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 Okay.